Hi, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your, what is this, February, there we go, February 24th, 2024, full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so very much for doing so. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, okay, interesting. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. hmm Okay. So it's kind of like buckle your seatbelts. Like you're not, well, you kind of are in for a bumpy ride, but it's not a bad bumpy ride. So it's just like, there's some turbulence along the way. And that is not uncommon for what I've been seeing with this moon. So just know that you're in the same club with everybody else. This moon, because it is a Virgo full moon, is going to be more intense for you than it is for others. So being aware of that, forewarned is forearmed type of thing is going to be so important. Now, if you have water sign energy in your chart, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, that is going to be a little bit difficult, right? You can find that part of your personality is just a little bit more weepy, a little bit more like emotions are right at the surface. There's also a sense here of very much self-doubt comes into play, very big. It's like, well, I can't possibly because I'm a failure. And you remember all the times that you failed and you couldn't possibly move forward the way that you want to. Stop those thoughts. Those intrusive thoughts are very common during this full moon right now. I don't know exactly why that is, but I've been seeing it time and time again. So be very mindful with that. We also have Capricorn energy coming in. So if you have Capricorn energy in your chart, comes through very powerfully and very positively. But the devil card itself says, hey, be mindful of addictions, doubts, fears, hurts, pains, disappointments, addictions in the realm of like drugs and alcohol and food and sex and, and shopping, those addictions that we think of like, oh, okay, I get those. But then we have the other addictions where it's perfectionism and self-doubt and, all those other things that can weigh heavily on our shoulders, but we think, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just striving to be the best me possible. And it's like, yeah, you be the best you possible if you stop and if you love you. And that's going to be really important. And that's really important because we have the Two of Cups crowning this reading and we have the Queen of Cups. There's a healing coming forward during this time that we're like, not ready for. Like, please, no, like, no, thank you type of thing. So just be mindful about this because we need to change our mind to change our lives. But we're very focused on what we haven't done right. And I mean, that's cool. That's one way of doing things, but it's not going to get you to the place that you want to be. It's not going to help. It's like what's done is done. The die was cast. Now it's time to move forward. And it's time to embrace loving your life. It is. Even if we're not where we want to be, even if you're sitting there saying, Dane, if you knew where I was, you would not say love your life, love your dreams, love your goals, love your ambition. All right? Because that is going to be a powerful engine that moves you forward. And it brings us to the Six of Swords because you're moving to your Avalon, you're moving to your dream and to your success and to what you deeply desire. But there's self-doubt and there's apprehension because you're human and there's going to be. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Now, if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a heart in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of February. So, on the 1st of March. There we go, the 1st of March. All right. And if you would like to purchase a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. Here we have devoted. What are you devoted to? What do you love? Like, if you take out everything else, like it doesn't have to earn you money, it doesn't have to, anything else. What are you devoted to? What do you love? What brings you joy and happiness in your life? Because this is what we need to be embracing during this full moon, during this time where the spotlight is put on us. And we see, did we complete the intentions that we had or that we set with the new moon? How have we moved forward? What do we want? And what are we moving towards? It moves us to our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading and show me clearly. And this is listening. This is the throat chakra, and we need to stop and listen. I always think of the throat chakra as talking, I need to communicate, I need to, open up these doors type of thing. The throat chakra is also listening to the world around us. and just stopping and listening to ourselves. It can also be taking the earbuds out of our ears and just listening to the world around us without the distraction of, our supercomputers in our pockets type of thing. So being aware of this, listening when we talk to people, you're ruled by Mercury, Virgo. So you are a spectacular communicator. You really are. You are a spectacular communicator. And just tuning into that, listening and connecting. And, as much as Spirit says, like, as much as we think of listening as listening to everybody else, it's listening to ourselves as well. What is my soul telling me? What is my heart longing for? Where do I want to be? Let's see what energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh goodness, there we go. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. The lady. Okay, so be mindful of, interesting. So be mindful of spreading yourself too thin, of feeling like all of this is inside of you and you need to get it out and it has to be right now or else you'll never be able to get to the place that you want to be at. And Spirit is saying, hey, listen, be mindful about this because we're going to be putting a lot of pressure on ourselves and thinking everything has to come all at once. It's just going to be like, it's just going to be a big mess because we're not spending the proper amount of time on things. Slow things down and step by step. That's going to be one of the most important things we can do for ourselves during this time is slow things down and step by step. So with the Two of Cups reversed, crowning this whole entire reading and then amplified by the Five of Cups reversed, because then that's another Two of Cups reversed right here. We have healing, beautiful love moving us forward. We do. And it is going to be very important to note that we're kind of pushing away this healing. For one reason or another, we might not feel ready for it. We might find out that we meet somebody who's very important to us. It could be, a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship, but we were like ships in the night during this time. We keep on going to the same places, but not bumping into each other. So just being aware that this energy is here, that a healing is coming forward, but it is something that makes us face emotions that we think, I don't really want to. Like, I don't really want to be doing this. And Spirit's like, that's okay. It's okay if you don't want to be feeling this right now, but you have to. It's kind of like when you tell your kids, eat your vegetables. You don't want to, but they have to, type of thing. So during this time, it's going to be a sense of, I need to embrace my healing. I need to embrace myself. And just chanting that to yourself. I need to embrace my healing. I need to embrace myself. I need to embrace my healing. I need to embrace myself. Because you're starting to see yourself in a way that gets to be freed from the hurts and the pains and the disappointments and the angers. And it brings us to the Queen of Cups, water sign energy, again, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Now, if we have this in our chart, our lives, we can find this energy to be very difficult. We can find that, like, once I even start to tip my toe in my emotions, they just come like a floodgate, and I can't deal with that right now. And we can also see that with other people. Once we start to, like, say, oh, I can listen. It's like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to listen anymore. Like, you have to stop talking type of deal. And we all know those people that are going through so much pain that it's like, oh my gosh, I can't fix this. And I don't know how to fix this. So here with the Queen of Cups reversed, it is embracing healing. And it's saying, I need to embrace my heart. I need to embrace my love. Because right now we're not nourishing that energy, and that's not helping us. It really isn't. It's like we're ignoring it and we're thinking it'll go away, but it's just, accumulating more pain, accumulating more hurt, accumulating more and more and more. So then when we finally do have time to look at it, it's like, whoa, no, not opening that box ever. And Spirit's like, no, we have to. So just being aware of this during this time to heal, to connect, to slow things down. We can even do the sacred feminine meditation, which also, incorporates the sacred masculine meditation, where it's like, okay, here, we're having difficulty connecting with our sacred feminine energy. We also have that amplified by the lady right here. So that's the Empress in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. We're having trouble connecting with the sacred feminine. So taking a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. And say, and chant, sacred feminine, sacred feminine, sacred feminine, sacred feminine, sacred feminine, sacred feminine. What does that bring forward in your life? Like, what emotions come forward there? Is it comforting? Is it abusive and manipulative? Is it loving? Is it hypercritical? What comes forward? when you embrace sacred feminine energy. Now, sacred masculine energy we'll move to. Again, a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Sacred masculine, sacred masculine, sacred masculine. Chant that. Let the energy wash through your body. Does it feel comforting? Does it feel secure? Does it feel protective? Is it angry? Is it frustrated? Is it going to erupt? Which energy do you feel comfortable with? Or do you feel comfortable with neither one of them? And how do we heal this? By gently unwrapping the emotions that come forward and seeing our fears, seeing our hurts, seeing our pains, naming them, and then telling them, you don't get to have power over me. You just don't. Because we're putting things into balance during this moon. And it starts with our heart. It starts with our heart, Virgo. And it brings us to the Six of Pentacles, which is balance and it is insight. And it is saying, okay, things are out of balance and I'm seeing that, I'm knowing that, I understand that, and I'm harmonizing me. And we're going to see ourselves harmonizing ourselves during this time, connecting with our inner child, connecting also with the energy that just needs a little bit more care. You know, we could have kids in our lives, we could not have kids in our lives, but it's the energy that needs a little bit more care, a little bit more attention. And that's going to be where we kind of need to focus our attention. Okay, like what do I need to look at? How do I need to move this forward? It brings us then to the Five of Cups reversed. And the Five of Cups reversed is change your mind, change your life. We're like, no, I can't do this. And Spirit's like, why? It's like, well, don't you see this pain and this hurt and this disappointment that I have? And Spirit's like, yeah, I see it. But that's the past. That's the once upon a time. Spirit calls it the once upon a time because we're all writing our stories, our screenplays, here. And it's a beautiful thing. But it all happened in the past. And yes, the past impacts our future. It is our present, our future, impacts us in the way that we handle things, deal with things, understand things. But we don't have to be our past. We all know people who are, but we don't have to be our past. And we all have times where we walk in our hurt and our pain. We could do it for 3 years. We could do it for 3 months. But now it's time to look at our healing. And it brings us to the devil energy. And the devil energy here, here we have the wild herdsman, right? This is the horned one. And we see him sitting here in wisdom and in knowledge. And for the longest time, I cannot tell you how long it took me of using these cards, because these were the cards I only ever used when I started this channel all those years ago. And we have the fire underneath the rock. And it's an illumination that is so easy to overlook. And we're going to see that within our lives. An illumination that is so easy to overlook. And yet, our spirit animal is guarding it. And yet, a primal part of ourselves is guarding this and moving forward with this. When we look at the devil, we look at the chaos. And that's what the devil is. It's a conglomerate of chaos gods, that were all put together to make the boogeyman, to make the devil. And here, we're going to look at the chaos and say, I see the chaos, but I also see the hope. I see the beauty. And it brings us to a moving forward, to taking our knowledge and taking our understanding and having our angels guide us and moving forward into the unknown. Yes, we're apprehensive because it's unknown, and it's going to be we can fear it, but we are still moving towards a place that we need to be guided, like that Spirit is guiding us to. It's like, oh, this is home, right? That's what we're moving towards. The sense of like, oh, this is home. This feels comfortable. And it's interesting because something here is like, it's shouting at us. It's like, this is comfortable. This is right. But until we heal, we won't see it. We just won't. So let's see here, Virgo, what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay. So it's interesting. This moon is very complex for us. It just is. And we start off with the void. We start off with embracing the nothingness, which can be astoundingly overwhelming, right? But it is also beautiful to know that we are stardust. We are connected with the infinite of space. And it says here, look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture of what you want. Look at the bigger picture of what you're moving towards and take out the noise and connect with that image of where you want to be and take out the noise and take out the distraction, because with us needing to heal, the noise and distraction is easy to pull us because healing is always uncomfortable. It just always is uncomfortable. Even, you know, even if you do it as slowly and as gently and as kindly as you can, whatever we're healing from, it's always uncomfortable. It's kind of like cutting your finger and wearing a Band-Aid. It's uncomfortable. It gets wet, it gets uncomfortable. Show the world the real you and then release. We can show the world the real us more easily than we can release. So being mindful about this during this time, that as we embrace what we love and as we start to really see our hearts, moving forward in love is easy, but releasing the hurt and the pain and the expectation of others and the expectation of ourselves is going to be difficult. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Will we see it? Will we find the balance after it? It's a little bit hard for us to think that the end of the tough cycle approaches. We feel this as going to be never ending, but it does approach. We have to see that. And we have to see that it might not be the way that we envisioned it. We might not get the ending that we wanted, but Spirit is saying we get the ending that our soul needs. So just being mindful about that. We can get a little bit, stubborn during this time and be like, no, but I need it to be just like this. And Spirit's like, okay, I see that. But what if we let ourselves fly instead of saying, no, I can't until everything is just right. Sometimes we have to take that leap of faith and just jump into ourselves. Don't let pride get in the way. That's exactly what Spirit is saying. And focus. So don't let pride get in the way is reversed and focus is reversed. We're having trouble focusing and we're having trouble with our ego, as we do as human beings. So just knowing that and knowing that there's a healing that needs to come forward, but it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. But I love what I'm seeing because you're becoming so free. You're becoming so beautifully intertwined with yourself and beautifully connected with where your soul needs to be. So a new romantic cycle begins, and wisdom is here because you've lived through a lot. But it's as we look at the chaos and say, okay, sometimes there's just going to be chaos here. And then we also look at it and say, I know my weaknesses. I see my weaknesses, and I'm not defined by them. And that's going to be really important as well. This is a time for healing. For some reason or another, that is very hard for us because this is reverse. Surrender. Surrender to your soul, surrender to yourself, surrender to your energy, surrender to this moon, surrender to the fact that this is an adventure. Life is an adventure. We're here for the ride. And it's as we move forward and as we move towards our goals and where we need to be, soul and spirit, and as we take our knowledge, but also know that we are unsure at times. Our subconscious spirit message is love. Spirit is guiding us with love and with healing, and that is paramount in our lives. To move forward in love energy and to calm ourselves with love is so important. Our subconscious chakra message is divine wisdom. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. And moving forward in wisdom, moving forward in grace is going to be really important. But we need to slow down and listen. And that's going to be another big thing for us, Virgo, to slow down and listen. It brings us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and it's the 7 of Pentacles, not being patient with ourselves. Again, plowing through, needing everything instantaneously, which is another aspect of this moon. It's like, no, slow it down and step by step. Our subconscious tarot message is the 3 of Swords reverse. We're releasing a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of disappointment, a lot that has kept us small, that has kept us hidden, that has kept us from truly stepping into ourselves. And as that is released during this time, we can feel a very big void. We can feel as if I don't know how I'm making it to the next step. Like I don't know what to do. Now I don't have this pain here, or I'm not focusing on this hurt or this wrong. And it is going to be so important for us to fill it with love, to fill the voids, the pains, the hurts, the disappointments with love. And it brings us then to resilience. We are far more resilient than we think we are. And step out of your comfort zone. It is time for us to plant our world tree. It is time for us to say, this is what I want in my life and this is what I'm growing. And to step out of our comfort zone and into ourselves. That is going to be powerful. Step out of the norm and kind of push the barrier of what we expect from ourselves and what we think we can do. We're far more capable than we realize. All right. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this moon and of ourselves. And please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless, and have a blessed moon. Bye.